So, hey, Internet, welcome. It is July as I am recording this. If you're watching this and it's not July, then maybe wait for July next year. No. Right, so it's July, it's about halfway through the year, and I think that it's always important to do a mid year review just to see how things are going because, hey, it's never too late to end the year strong. So, hopefully, after watching this video and downloading the free template that I'm giving you at the end, you will have some clarity about how the past 6 months have gone and you have an idea on how to end it, better than before. So let me pull up the Notion template that I made for you and let's get started right away. Okay, so we are here inside the Notion template. I called it the mid-quarter review and planning page. It's got just two super quick pages and I just want to show you very quickly how it works, where it's going, and how to answer all of these things. I also included some productivity resources you might find handy, but honestly, you don't need them to do this planning and review, but they're there if you want them. So let's follow the instructions because we are good people and we know how to read. So we want to start here in part one because one is where things start. So part one is the audit. And this is where we do initially the review. I have a little like intro in case you want to read through that, whatever. But anyway, so some of the questions that I have here are just meant to help you evaluate how the past 6 months have gone, because I think that's always important. I don't know. Do you think that's important? I think that's important. So the first questions are always about, what are the things we set out to do in the beginning of the year? And if we did or did not plan out the beginning of the year. I sure know sometimes I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I don't make plans, or sometimes I do make plans. I make goals, but, nothing really happens with them. No shame in that. So we're just going to do that here. I'm actually not going to answer this as seriously as I might because I don't know. I feel like these things should be private. But anyway, let's just try. Let's try anyway. Okay, so what are all the things that I set out to accomplish in the beginning of this year? Did I even plan out my year in the first place? Yes, I did, but I'm going to get to that later. So this year, I know that I wanted to relaunch my online course. It had been a while since I got to do that. I also set out to be more consistent on Instagram because kind of when 2020, when 2020 happened, 2020, I kind of stopped doing so much social media just because I was I don't know, it was a whole nother time. I also wanted to hire a contractor to help me with my social media, just really to help me manage the account. All the posts were mine. I really was very clear about that. I wanted to do that. So yeah, you're probably gonna want to fill this out in way more detail, but just want to show you how things happen and maybe you want to plan along with me. Sure, let's do it. Okay, so the second question is, was I able to accomplish any of these so far? How am I doing with the rest of the things on the list? I was able to relaunch my course. Yes, I reopened the course. However, I wasn't able to do all the strategies I wanted to be able to market it. So, that's just how I do reviews. So you're gonna want to do that for every single goal. You're gonna see, exactly what happened. And the way that you answer doesn't really matter. It just has to make sense to you. If you just want to do phrases, you just want to do keywords, then that's fine. Me, I tend to journal. I tend to talk a lot, even in my own head. So it makes sense to me to type things out in complete sentences and stuff, also because I'm just a bit of an English nerd. So whatever. Let's just do that. Okay, so when we get over here to this part of the template of the audit, in the past 6 months, what are the things you're most proud of happened? Because maybe you made them happen, or it doesn't even have to be that. But like, I would like you to focus on the things that you probably focused on, that you actually took action on, because I think it's always important to celebrate whenever we showed up for ourselves. And then on the other hand, we have to ask ourselves, in the past 6 months, what could have gone better? It could be literally anything. I know when I was doing this in 2020, so many of the things that I wrote down inside of this question was really about, when the what happened and things kind of like blew up in everyone's faces. So yeah, let's see. Do I want to answer this right now? Sure, let's not answer this. This is a plan with me. This is a review with me. So let's do it. I think I'm most proud of relaunching the course. I know my whole thing is kind of becoming about that, but no, let's okay. I'll think of other things. I was very happy to have made my most profitable month yet. That was pretty good to me. I also was able to try new things for IG. I started doing videos more and all that stuff that really, really scared me in the past, but not so bad now. So yeah, you're probably gonna want to write more than just three things, but I want to keep this quick, so I'm just gonna leave it there. So what are the things that could have gone better the past 6 months? I definitely feel towards the beginning of the year that I had a lot of hiccups along the way. I stopped doing stuff that I wanted to do. I didn't even take action on things. Don't remember them now, but I'll probably check later my planner. But I'm just gonna leave it at did not do the things for marketing self whatever. I also have not been able to pitch myself to new, I don't know, collabs and stuff. That's something I remember wanting to do this year. In fact, it's something I always been wanting to do, and I have not been doing that. And that's okay. We have to be honest here. We have to know, when we're holding ourselves back. And that's the point of this whole exercise. And then among those things that could have gone better, so you're going to want to focus on this column over here, everything you wrote down. Which things did you have zero control over? Because that's actually a thing. It's important because there's no point in dwelling on the things that we had zero control over. So you might want to write those down here, and I hope that it makes you feel a little bit better when you actually admit that, hey, I didn't really have control over this. And on the other hand, we have to focus on which things did I have complete or at least partial control over, because that's also important, because you need to know when we were holding ourselves back. We need to know when we could have done something, or when we could have focused on something in our control, but we didn't do that. So that's important. So I did leave a note here. You can do it. You can put stuff that maybe you fell short because of your habits or your mindsets. That stuff's important. And here, the next question, actually, the final question in part 1 is among the things I had control over. So you want to go back to this column over here. What has stopped me from taking action on them? What kept me stuck or procrastinating or hesitating? I think it's just as important to get to know why we weren't able to do the stuff that we wanted to do, or why we did something that wasn't good for us. I think that's incredibly important, because when we get to know like why things happen, when we get to know the reasons, we can focus on turning those reasons into, better reasons and getting better results. So be sure to be very honest about that. Remember, nobody's looking at your answers, not like you guys are looking at mine. So I'm just gonna be super, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna say what stopped me from taking action was I tend to procrastinate and focus on other things, even without completing the current thing. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm a productivity girl, but I have my own bad habits. I'm not immune to days like that. So I definitely know that's something for me. And also I hold myself back all the time because I overthink about what people think. I'm not proud to admit that, but that's something that I have been getting better at, but it's still something that comes up and still kind of stops me. So yeah, so when you're done with everything here in this audit, in this nice, fun, quick little audit, hopefully you realize a lot of things. What you want to do is click over here to part 2, and this is where we start planning out the rest of the year. Now, I'm not going to do any of this because I honestly have to do this on my own, because I don't know where I'm going at the end of, towards the end of this year. So I have to sit down and actually ask myself what's going to happen here. But I'm just going to walk you through the questions that you might want to do, and then some tips to wrap things up. And then I'll show you that all the links and stuff that you might need to be able to do all this stuff on your own. Okay, so first question is, what have I learned about myself these past 6 months that I can take with me moving forward? And this is important because we need to know what those, epiphanies have shown us over the last half a year. Maybe we've uncovered some bad habits that we have, mindsets that we need to, kind of reframe and unlearn. So all that stuff is meant to go in this question. Second one, we're going to breeze through this really quickly, is what will I do in the coming days or weeks to make sure that those roadblocks that I listed before won't become roadblocks again in the future? Because here's the thing, what's the point of identifying those roadblocks, of saying, hey, I know what went wrong and I know why it went wrong, if we're just going to make it, happen again? If we make the excuses win again, what's the point of identifying those excuses, So be sure to try and be actionable in those things. So if you say, okay, I'm always distracted by IG, I always check my phone when I'm supposed to be working. Well, try to incorporate ways to, not be distracted by IG. Maybe work with your phone away from your computer. Maybe keep it in another room altogether. All that stuff, all that stuff. Okay. So what are my new goals moving forward from today onward? So this is really where we start to either reevaluate our goals. Do we still have the same goals from the beginning of the year? Do you want to maybe adjust those goals a little? Maybe the outcomes, or you're super far from where you thought you would be by now. That's okay. Maybe you can readjust the goal, the milestones that you're working towards. There's no shame in that. Just make sure that you're changing your mind because maybe that whatever you set in the beginning of the year just wasn't in alignment to who you are now. There's no problem changing your mind, but I think that there is a problem with being fickle-minded. There's a difference, and only you can answer when you are, being fickle-minded, and when you genuinely just changed your mind because things don't align with you anymore. This is really when you want to think about what you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, whether you want to get better grades, you want to create more content, whether you want to partner with more people, I don't know, whatever it is, your goals. And okay, and then the final question is, what will I start doing today to make sure that I can hit my goals in the next 6 months? And you want to be really specific, you want to be actionable. So if I want to create more content starting July onwards, I need to think about, okay, why wasn't I able to do more content in the beginning of the month? Was I over consuming content and that's the reason why I wasn't making my own? Was I maybe not clear with my planning? So that's something I can do starting July. I can start planning out my year. Planning out my content plan. What the heck, planning out my year? What, Michael? Michael, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay, so it's really things like that. Keeping it actionable means assigning verbs, action words to it. Don't just set a goal for like, I want to hit 50K subscribers on YouTube. You have to actually think of actions that's going to help you, get to those goals. So if you want to hit 50K subscribers, maybe you gotta up your uploads. You gotta review your uploads, your past performance even better. It's all that stuff you gotta take note of. So once you're done answering part 2, all of these things, I have a few recommendations for how you might move forward, and I've left them here. I also will attach a playlist on things about goal setting, about how to actually take action and stuff. So I will link to that playlist down in the description below. And if you do want to get your hands on this planner, be sure to click this link over here that you see at the bottom of my screen. And then you can download this, duplicate this Notion, put it on your own Notion pages and all that stuff, and then actually sit down and do all of these things. So that's this quick video showing you how to do a mid-year review using the template that I made on Notion. If you want to see more Notion content from me, be sure to let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment so that YouTube can tell me, hey, you guys want more Notion content. And as always, if you want to see more videos about productivity just like this, be sure to check these ones over here. I recommend them, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Bye!